Hey guys, you have been waiting for this. This is our new AI sales rep. There is not that many new things that you will see that you haven't yet seen in the sales system course, but it will make it much easier for you to deploy all the solutions, all the agents pretty fast. What I decided to do this time is instead of going through the update, explaining everything randomly, step by step, I will do what you will have to do. Okay? And we'll see how long it's going to take. In the meanwhile, I'm going to provide you some information on how everything is functioning and why. This is the new sub account, test one. In the sub account, I have the AI sales rep. You'll have the same folder in your own account. Again, it can be a bit different. It could be like a version, and inside this version, there will be a folder. Depending on when you bought the license, just locate this folder, okay? Now, same thing, like depending on when you watch this video, there will be like some things a bit different, but the structure gonna be the same, okay? I am doing everything from scratch. So what we did, we opened a new sub account. It's called Test One, Westland, Michigan, okay? Let's say this is our client. What you would do, like you have sub accounts that you can open within the one prompt. You open it for the client. Let's say you are onboarding the client. So let's see how to do that. So first, let's, I guess, find the client. So what? Let's do a landscaping company in West Chicago. Okay, let's go to like this Augustine Landscaping. Okay, good enough. Why there's no image, but okay. I mean, sure. Unable to find the form. So let's say, what do we have in the services? Landscaping, landscaping. Okay, pretty okay. Let's say this is our client, and let's say for this client, we're trying to build a sales rep who is going to handle all of the inbound traffic, right? Qualify, nurture, educate, follow up, engage with prospects to book appointment. Okay. Now, so inside the AI sales rep, we have the inbound and outbound. So the outbound, this is basically where we are receiving the form submit. Let's say it could be the form, or it could be a booking on the calendar, and then we're sending the first message. Now, again, within the sales system, you have pretty much similar flow. But for now, let's focus on the inbound. Okay. So if we go to the inbound, everything is, by the way, it's already published. So okay. Inside the inbound, we have everything that we need for the inbound traffic. So we have the process, the call, which is the workflow that is going to be handled when we are receiving a call on the retail. Okay. I'm going to talk about this a bit later. So receive, wait and reply, update user details, transfer to human. Okay. Now, this is our new n8n engine, which is a simplified version. Okay. What I'm going to tell you is in 8 out of the 10 use cases that you can potentially sell, this will be enough. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep everything simple. I'll show you how. So first, we are going to get the webhook, okay? Now, so we have the set user ID, which is user ID of the contact that could be populated here. Then we are getting the user utterance. Everything has been already set. Don't need to do anything. Set user details. We're getting the full name, phone number, and the email from the HighLevel. Set bot persona. Okay. So here, let's do this. I've opened ChatGPT. So let's get this persona. Eugene Digital Quimple. Okay. So let's go here. Let's put the 4K. Please recreate the prompt for me based on the example. Here is the example. Okay. My name is Phil, and below is the information about my company. Control A, Control C. Okay. Bot persona Phil. Okay. Can you please send it to me in Markdown, but in a code block, so I can easily copy paste. Fill digital faces, Augustine landscaping here, import facts. Okay. Again, so this facts, that's fine. Like we don't need, we'll come to the knowledge base a bit later. So here, bot persona, delete, replace. Okay. Now we have this bot persona. Reply rules. Language, straightforward, casual phrases. Honestly, kind of lol. Okay, so let's do this. This is kind of the language that we usually use, but for more a personal type of the approach, like businesses, let's say this is the official business. Do the same thing with reply rules here. But I want the language to be more professional. Okay. Understood? Yeah, so see, it's not gotcha. So it removed all this lol type of the things. Okay. So delete, replace. Okay. Set language rules. This is where if you're working with multilingual approach, like with a company who is not like who is like for, because if you would work with a company who's only serving like French market or like Spain market or any market, you would just do the prompts on the native language. I would suggest you to do that. You can keep it in English, but if you keep it in English, here you need to say that you must respond in the language that the user asks your question on. So if the user, like usually for the multinational businesses, international, like multiple languages, if person is reaching out in Spanish, it will respond in Spanish. Not replacing anything here. So we're setting the custom fields. So here's what we do. We're extracting the details, right? It means that if throughout the chat someone, because like let's say someone like send us an Instagram message, right? We don't know the phone number of this person, we don't know the email. When they send this information, we're using this so we analyze the user utterance in chat history, and then here we say, okay, we're extracting the name, which is the string, explanation, the first name, email, which is the user email, and phone. So let's actually, okay, let's keep it like that, because what you would do, you would copy this and you'd come here and say, okay, for this example, let's do that. Now, I want you to change the schema. This is the example. I want you to add an account number, which looks like H, any letter, plus 6 digits, like Y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here, it's going to recreate the schema. Okay, so we have name, email, phone, and account number. Okay, so we're replacing it here. It could be anything. It could be, in the landscaping, would be like yard size or something. Wait, what's that? Okay, schema, all good. So what we're gonna do, it's powered by, everything. So everything is powered by, right now, the 4.1 model. We have the super base memory. We have the knowledge base. We'll talk about this later, but for now, so we will extract more information in here. So let's say we're gonna say, if the name or the email is empty, so if one of these empty, we're gonna handle here. But let's do it a bit of a different condition. So let's say if the name is empty, or instead of the email, we are going to, we would need to run it. So we don't have any data for now. So yeah, let's leave it like that. Let's launch it for now. Okay, let's just remove it. Let's just remove that. So we added the account details. Now we need to send. So let's say when the user provided, so this would be not the email, but this would be like, which is the name. Name is here. You can say account number like this. Again, we're gonna test it finally, but user info. So this will be account number is empty. So if user didn't provide it, we're gonna go next. But if it's not empty, we'll pass it to the high level. Okay. So here you would go to the high level, setting up everything, sales rep, inbound, update user details. Okay. So we're waiting for this to be loaded. So we're getting the webhook, copying this webhook, and again, because this is the new webhook, as you can see, it's a brand new automation. Okay. And we're passing here like the full name, okay, email, user ID, which is very important to match the user inside the high level, phone number, as well as account number. Again, we don't have anything to map, so what we can do here is we can just get it from here like that. It should work. Like that. Okay, so we're gonna pass the account number, and let's execute the workflow. Not executed. So if we fetch the response, nothing was actually put here. Check. Probably because everything is 0, but wait. getting this webhook. Need to pass the information here. No results. Yeah, so let me remove that. Let me send it like that. Yeah, so because this information doesn't exist. So what I would do is for the sake of testing, so just copy this and I would place like some random information here to remove this variables just for the testing. Okay. So now if we execute this, we're going to send it here. Okay, we have this payload. As you can see in this payload, we have the account number. Okay, so this will be mapped right away. So find the contact. As you can see, full name, email, user ID. So this is all mapped. So let's actually save for now. Let's go and add a custom field. So custom values, custom fields. Gonna be single account number. In the general info, good. To view that, you usually need to reload it. So now, if we come here, we'll see the account number, and we are mapping from the inbound webhook account number. Good. So we're done with this. Okay. We just remove this testing, connect this, we're good to go. Analyze user response. This is needed when we need to understand if the user wants to be transferred to a human or not. So we're just saying, hey, if you analyze this user input and chant history, and when the user wants to explicitly be transferred to the human, this is just the system prompt. So here, human or other. Other is usually when nothing happens, but here's okay. So we turned on this automation, so it's good. Now let's put everything in draft. Gonna be easier to understand. Okay, so we just enabled the update user details, right? So let's go to the transfer to human. So here, just getting this webhook. And it's gonna be the same thing here. So like I would, because you cannot see, you cannot save it because usually this gives you an error, this always, because you have not yet tested, so it doesn't have any mapping references. So just go here, duplicate it, put anything into the user ID, and now put this trigger, execute. So we have here received it. It's good. Now we don't need to change anything here. It's going to be assigned already. Now, assigned to Eugene, by the way, you do need to change it. So see like assigned, and we don't have the users here who to assign it to. And we just don't have any users in this account. So I guess here's what we can do. Okay, so this was tested already. I need to replace this webhook. Okay, also. So this webhook, this one I'll delete, save just in case. So let's go to the settings, to the my stuff. See, we don't have anything. So let's add a user. Test guy 2. email testguy2@gmail.com. Next, save. So we saved this person. Go back, sales rep, inbound, transfer to human. So here we're gonna say test guy 2, transfer to test guy, save. Is this already mapped? Yes. Save. Good. So we did enable this. Awesome. Now, this is the main agent, right? So, which is the booking agent? You can say anything. Let's say in our case, we're trying to book the appointment. So, okay. We have like this, we have this prompt, okay? Within this prompt, we have, okay, so this is the bot persona. We already said it. Reply rules. System prompt. You're Eugene, friendly, relaxed. Okay, so primary objective, understand, like you're just getting everything. Mission, language policy. Okay, you go here. Now I want you to work on my master prompt. Here is the reference. Of course, you keep all the variables, but just change the content. What we want is to book an appointment in our calendar. Now, here's what we can do. Let's go to the calendar. Let's create a calendar where we will book an appointment. Okay, calendar settings. Do we have a calendar by default? You guys should, but I don't think so. Task guy personal calendar. Awesome. I'm not going to change anything. So going to say, okay, share the calendar. There's going to be a link here in this calendar. Where is it? Copy. My God. Wait. Okay. So you must only send the link when person is really looking to book an appointment. Before that, you must answer all of the questions that he has. Also, by the way, before sending a link, let's say we want to qualify the person, send the link, you must ask one question. What is the size of the person yard? If it is bigger than 100 square feet, then send a link for booking. If it is smaller, say that he is not qualified for our service. Whatever, so something like that. Now, guys, a lot of you will say, hey, Eugene, but can we book it directly in the calendar integration without the links? Answer is yes. And within our main engine, we have the booking agent who is connected to the calendar through the APIs. So when the person says, hey, I want to book it for 8, 9, whatever. And we'll release a new version also at one point. But again, don't overcomplicate things. In the 9 out of 10 scenarios when you're dealing with bookings, the link is enough because your goal is to book appointments as efficient as possible. And for people it's easier to book something in the link, and it doesn't look robotic because a lot of the people are using the links. Even I do, you do, when you're talking with the prospect. Of course it depends, but if you're building something for especially like the trial, the prototype, to test everything out, only do that. Don't overcomplicate things. So let's see the prompt that the agent created. So okay, so we have this prompt: understand user inquiries about the loan. So now, chain of thoughts. Good. What to do? Your mission. Does it send a link? Okay, share. If the user is yard larger than. Okay, good. I mean, I'm okay with that. Can I remove everything? Paste it here. Okay. Good. Not replacing anything in this user message. Then we're splitting. So as you can see, this is a bit different from the previous iterations, because here we are actually not using the we were testing about with different LLM models. So we're also testing with Claude, like Sonnet 4.0 and 4.01 mini. And if we're just using the simple AI, OpenAI, we cannot use Claude. So that's why we're doing it here. We're providing the system message on how to split the response, right? So like the response was generated in this booking agent. Let's say this response in 2 paragraphs. So here we identify how to split the response. Then this is a technical kind of phase where we are saying, okay, if it is, the total messages, because we're outputting the structured, how many messages we want to output and the actual messages, right? So here we say, okay, so what's the total amount of messages that this agent decide to split this response on? And if it's like, for example, 1, it goes here. If it's 2, it goes here. It's 4, it goes here. Compared to the previous version, we're not utilizing those automations because we're trying to save on the custom actions inside the HighLevel. So you do not need to pay for it. You do not need to pay for the custom code actions inside the HighLevel. So that's the only way to do that. And basically, in the response, we're just responding with the first outcome in data. You don't need to change anything here, just explaining. Conversation history. So here you are going to connect your Supabase, okay? And this is set already because this is a session ID that has been set here. Not gonna do it in this video because I was doing it from scratch in the sales system, pretty straightforward. Same thing with the knowledge base. You're retrieving the model, you're retrieving the data from the one prompt license, testing. So this is just a connection, and you are like choosing the table. Okay. Now, what you noticed here, I haven't used the knowledge base, right? So where will the agent get the information from? I would say that if you're working with this type of the business, you can easily do this. You just go to the service, you go to this, you have like 3 main pages, okay, and about us. Okay, good. But create a separate section where you will provide information about our services in details. Here is the website info. You can make it shorter. Control A, Control C. Control A, Control C. Control A, Control C. And Control A, Control C. Now, you might say, hey, Eugene, it's a joke. it's probably like 2023 type of the method. I'll tell you, who cares? It works. There's not that much info. And so see, like it created this type of the services overview. So we can just copy it, go here, booking agent, here. I'd put it like here. Guys, it is not a big prompt. Even if your prompt would be 3 times bigger, you're good to go. Tokens right now doesn't cost that much. So if it's that simple, if you don't have technical documentation, you don't need the knowledge base, okay? Surprise, surprise. But if you would just go to the video where I'm explaining how to do that. If we are using Flowwise, and we go to the Flowwise here. So we are using the Supabase for the actual like hosting the knowledge base, right? So let me log in here. And for the Flowwise, let me also have the dashboard opened. So see, again, you'll create a project here. Doesn't really matter. And this is the document. So this is where it's going to get the information from. Okay. So as you can see, we already have some information. So let's delete that. You will not, because you're starting from scratch. Okay. Flowwise, again, we have a separate video on how to set everything up. Document stores, sales agent knowledge base, add document loader, text. Again, you can do the scraper, doesn't matter. Just let's do, okay, this type of the thing. So you would paste everything. Key date, like metadata. Okay, let's say key, and let's say this metadata general, like information. General, text splitter, recursive characters, text splitter. Good. Preview the chunks. 3 chunks, because everything is straightforward. Process. That's going to be processed right now. Okay, here. Upsert the chunks. Have we deleted this already? Okay. Let's see. So we have nothing here. Flowwise. Again, you'll create the credentials to the OpenAI and credentials to the Supabase, and you'll just say upsert, close. This is the chat history. Should have the chunks here. Yeah, they're here. As you can see, key general. Okay, so now this knowledge base, sure, like this agent will have access to this knowledge base, but why? Like it doesn't need to do that because we already provided all this information in this prompt. So, but that's an option. Now, the only thing that is left is the follow-ups, but let's cover it a bit later. So the agent is done. Now, what we need to do is, let's remove that company is still here. So let's connect it to the channel. Because this is the brand new account, I don't have the phone number connected, and nothing is connected. Okay, the WhatsApp, I'm not lying, so this is the brand new account. So let's try to do it through the integrations through the Instagram. Okay. Okay, so let me log in through my Instagram. By the way, I was removing the connection. So here, we're logging in. Again, so you can do the live chat for the testing. You can do the SMS. I would suggest you to get the number as soon as possible. But yeah, so we can do the Instagram because you don't need any verifications here. I think we got, because I reloaded the page, so it was bagging. So let's me come here, log into the Facebook. Okay, authenticator. Facebook 24256 642. Continue. Trust this device. Continue. I hope, because it's already connected. Yeah. It is actually already connected to the HighLevel. That's why we are not seeing it. So that the pages. Okay, no, we actually do. So let's actually connect my Instagram page this. Configure field mapping. This is more for the, if you're running ads, no, I'll do it later. Connection is done. Go back. Automations. So let's set the inbound messages in. So receive and process and wait and reply. There go hand in hand. So here you are triggering Instagram. Channel is Instagram DM. Save. We're not changing anything here. This is the multi-message processing. If you remember how everything works, let me very quickly remind you the main idea. Our main advantage is that we can process multiple messages. When someone sends you a message, this trigger this automation, because we have this trigger. Then it get the content of this message, the body, and it saves this body in the this body in the DM1 custom field of the contact. Okay, so the contact here will have a DM1 custom field. DM1. Okay. Then let's say we're waiting for like 30 seconds or like for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Then the user sends another message. A second message like, hello, Eugene. Wait, I have a question. It's a second message. This message does still trigger the same automation, but here in the routing, it's asking, does the DM1 empty? If yes, it's going to put it in the DM1, but it's full, right? So this is full because we got the first message. So that's why the second message is actually getting saved in the DM2 custom field. And that's what you see here. And it goes step by step. So we don't need to change anything. So let's publish it. Save. Good. So now we have one thing left, which is the wait and reply. So here, this is the time, how long you're waiting until you receive a reply. So let's put 0.2 to make it faster. This is where you're grouping all this, so after this 3 minutes, in our case, 0.2 minutes, let's say it's 2, it's grouping this plus this, and it creates a master message. Because, hey, this is Eugene, I have a question. Or, hello, Eugene, I have a question. This is one message, even though the user sent it in multiple utterances, like this, 2, 3, or 4, it's still in one message that we need to send to our engine. So here, we're grouping it, and we're just generating the reply in n8n. So here, we need to put this webhook. Okay, production, copy. Okay, we already saved it. Here, like that. Not replacing anything here. Save. So then you are parsing the messages. Pretty straightforward. You're saving the responses in the custom fields. Then you are using the memory. By the way, give me a second. I was just checking. I had a previous version. So because we are doing this processing, we do not need a custom code message here. So we're just doing the one reply. We're receiving the message back, and then we're mapping the responses. So it's all good. This is how you will see it. Then we're checking memory exist, because here we're also outputting the memory of the conversation. So this is what we're doing here, not doing changing. See, like this is the WhatsApp. So here we need to send like Instagram DM. Let's say we're just going to, as you can see, we don't have this enabled yet. So that's why we would actually do it manually. Contact custom fields response one, because we're mapping it here in the response 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we'll remove the WhatsApp message, then Instagram DM, same thing, custom fields response 2. Okay, delete. Then we do it here, Instagram DM, contact response 3. And we just need to do it for the 4 and 5. This is, by the way, not necessary. So the 4 and 5 usually bot doesn't, depends on your information, doesn't respond with 4 or 5 messages because it's too much. This is also not how humans talk. Usually it's 1, 2, or 3. Instagram. And here we're going to say contact, custom fields, response 5. Okay. So now we're good to go. The only thing that is left, so let's save it just in case, is the follow-ups. Workflow seems to probably doesn't have. Okay, let me check. Reference step waiting reply. Okay, yeah, so we're actually so we are having the problem because in this wait for a reply, we're not mapping it properly. So the idea is that when we're sending the message, right? So here, AI generates the message, right? It actually generates it here. It provides the output. Output is saved. And then we're providing this output to the user. But as you know, when it comes to sales, you always need to follow up with people. Like, hey, Eugene, have you seen my message? Let me know. What do you think? And stuff like that. So we created a way to do the dynamic follow-ups with people. So here's how it's done. Once all the messages are sent, we're clearing all the fields so that it doesn't interfere and it just starts the process from scratch. But what we do, we're waiting. So here we wait for, let's say, 1 minute, but usually you would wait for like 12 hours or, 1 day. So let's wait for actually 0.5. So let's wait for 30 seconds. And then we wait here to the reply. So until the user reply to one of these messages, right? So if the user did reply to, let's say, to one of these Instagram messages, sure, nothing's going to happen. But if the person didn't reply, in our case, in 0.5 minutes, in 30 seconds, or in 1 day, you are going to trigger, by the way, I haven't saved it. You are going to trigger this webhook, okay, here. So let's actually get the production version here. Let's put it here. What we're doing, okay, so let's say user didn't reply. We're sending, we're triggering this webhook. It's getting triggered. We're getting the memory, right? We're getting the whole memory from, the same module. You can actually make the connection like that. Doesn't really matter, right? And what we do is we are asking AI to analyze the last user, not only the last user utterance, but the chat history, and identify if their follow-up is needed. Because like if you picture, for example, like user is asking, hey, do you sell apples? You'll say, yes, we sell apples. Apples cost $20. User says, thank you. This is the message. And if you follow up with all the messages until the user ignores you, this doesn't make any sense, right? Or let's say an opposite. If user says, okay, thank you, you'll say, you're welcome. So when you're sending the you welcome, do you need to follow up? Hey, let me know what you think. This is the end of the conversation. You do not need to follow up on your welcome. You need to follow up only when you're asking, like you want to get some response from the customer. And this is what you do here. This is what you would actually specify in this prompt. As you can see, we're providing the examples of just checking if you saw this, or like we're actually like providing one reply, I think, example. But anyways, yeah, I'm probably missing something. But so here you would specify like the different types of the follow-ups that you would do with a person. Like, let me know, just a question mark. What do you think? Have you checked this? So this is where you would follow. But we like usually you don't need to change anything here. So it's gonna identify if it's needed or not. So here we're structuring the output, right? So we're saying it's a Boolean, indicates whether a short follow-up is necessary or not, right? And there is a reason, so just for us to kind of understand what is the reason for us to follow up. And there is a suggested follow-up, like follow-up is needed, this, reason, this, and suggestion follow-up. So this is the actual follow-up that is going to be generated, okay? And then we are responding to the webhook. So because then we're responding to the webhook, let's save it. We say, okay, so follow-up, does the follow-up is needed? Follow-up needed, true. So this is what we have here, right? So this is the Boolean, true or false. If it's true, probably it was generated. So here we're doing the follow-up, right? So what we do basically is we need to delete this, right? And go to the Instagram DM. So if we go to we actually don't see the custom webhook because you would want to test it first. So, but it's gonna give us an error. So I think what we can do, we're just going to input a static field. So follow-up is needed, true. Here, gonna say Instagram DM and this. Now, I just got like a copy pasted from my flow, but when you enable the WhatsApp, like you will see it, so you don't need to do that. And see like the 14, so this number should match. So the 14, it's good. Okay. So we did change everything. Okay, publish, save. Now, if we go back, you will see that all these workflows are set up. So let's try to go to my personal Instagram page and type Kadzin. Okay. So, and I am going to send a message. Hey, I have a question. Can you please help me with that? So I sent 2 messages, okay, from my Instagram to the business Instagram, to the one that we connected. So if we check the conversations, we'll see that this messages has been received, okay? Now, let's go to the automation, sales rep, inbound, receive and process, and this. But you can see that this has been run. So this has been enrolled 1 time, and this is 1, active is 1. So it did trigger this message, of course. Okay. 2. 1 has been exited, but now we're generating the reply in n8n. So if we go to our text engine, we need to save it, but it was saved already, I think. So this reply was already generated. Okay. So if we go here, waiting for the contact to reply. So let's see what we got. So we actually set the history. So the reply was generated. Certainly, what's your question? Okay, so this is the reply that was generated. But I have not received, no, I have. Okay, so I just received the message. So just received the message. You can see it here. No, actually message was not sent, but we did receive a follow-up, which is interesting. So if we go to the conversations, so see, just checking if you saw this. And the reason for that, because it has been like 30 seconds where I didn't reply, but it didn't send the message. So the problem is probably in mapping. Again, that was a weird one because, so if we check the execution history here, so see, we got certainly what's your question, but then it didn't save it, probably. So yeah, so because it was empty, so this didn't save. So as you can see here, so chat history was okay, identified, but save memory, no. Okay, it means that this response was not properly mapped. And I can tell you why. Because like here, yeah, I have 11 and this is 13th. Again, you will not have this question, like you will not have this problem, guys. It was just because I messed up with the versions. So I think this should be like just 13. And how we can like verify that, okay? There's already, so if we just, for example, save, if we check this, like no, I think, okay, so what we can do is, let me check if we're gonna see it, save the response here. In the custom webhook, generate the reply, response, split, chat history. Yeah, we're not yet seeing it. Okay, so probably gonna just change it to 13th. Okay. 13th. Again, guys, you will not have this problem. It's going to work out of the box. It's just like me, but I'll figure this out yourself. Not going to cut this video. So I'm going to ask, so what products do you guys sell? And also, what locations do you work on? Okay, so I asked 2 questions. This is the conversation. So these are the 2 questions. We can start messaging manually, but here we're gonna get 2 more. Okay. So gonna have another one now. This is going to start the actual n8n scenario. It's waiting. Yeah, so now we're processing. 5, 7, 8. Takes longer because it's probably calling the knowledge base. Okay, we actually got a reply already. Cool. So, see, just to clarify, we don't sell physical products. Instead, we provide premium landscaping services located Chicago and surrounding suburbs. This is the information from the knowledge base, probably, like, or from the prompt. So, like, if we see here, was the knowledge base called? Yeah, so it did call the knowledge base. So it got the chunks, but like it could probably pick it up from the from this agent. And see. But if we see, like here, okay, let's check the last one. This was the follow-up. Okay, so this one. So this was still chunked into one message. Now I don't like it. Like, so for example, I don't like it because it's not asking questions. It's more like this looks like more a customer support agent, because it should say, hey, are you looking for X, Y, and Z? And this is all about the prompt, right? So, okay, let's do it together with you. So let's say we want to make it more salesy, okay? So we're gonna do that. And we're gonna say, here is my final prompt. Can you please redo that and make it more salesy? So add rules so that the agent always asks a question to the user that is relevant. And the goal is to always book an appointment. But before that, you need to get the yard size. Something like that. So my next question, okay, so we got the follow-up. Again, we can update it. We don't need to relaunch the conversation from scratch. So I would want to say, okay, awesome. And so what type of the lens? So what is the loan? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Loan care. Just some random question where it needs to provide information from the knowledge base or from the prompt. And then it should ask us, okay, what is the yard size that you're looking for? Then we provide the answer, and then it will actually send us a booking link. Okay. So let's wait for this mission. Be helpful, be persuasive. So this is like all about the prompting. Service review. I think I can like let me just get this. Okay. So let me get this, and let me remove everything. Mission like this. Okay. So now we should ask the question. Again, I'm not verifying the prompt, like, guys, you would probably usually want to make it more professional. So, okay, wait. I am not getting that. What are the loan services? Please help. So I'm asking a pretty stupid question, but okay. So it should give us a reply, and then should ask us again. So like technically, I would say like this can also be split into two messages. Like this could be the one message, and this could be the second one. You can play around with this, right? Give more examples of how you would want to split the messages into. So, but okay. And again, the follow-ups, like I hope you understand, like the follow-up, we're getting the follow-ups because it's like 30 seconds and just like showing you how it works. So check the execution history. See, now it's working. So now we're saying that, okay, certainly our loan service is professional modeling. Okay, let's say I have, it's about 120 square feet. Why are you asking? Something like that. So now, technically, we should receive a booking link. Okay. Now, guys, I hope you understand that the next step would be to really create an automation that will, from scratch, it will create an automation that will be triggered once the call is booked. So calendar, appointment. So appointment, customer booked an appointment, right? So that then you can say, hey, in the chat, I got your appointment. Thank you for the booking. Okay. Now we're running this. Okay. Yep. So we are running. Takes longer. Okay. So hopefully we're going to get the booking link. Best recommendation possible. Okay. So would you like to schedule a loan appointment this week? Yes, please. Again, so yeah, so it's actually asking us for, it's asking one more question before booking, before sending. Now, so this, like, see, like, you would want to send a link here to book an appointment if you're, again, automating the actual communication through the messengers. Or because, like, if you're asking the user, would you like it? So he would probably say, yeah, sure, let's book it for, next week, Thursday. And you're going to send a link. But, guys, that's still fine. That's still pretty much fine. And you're going to be good. Okay, that's just me. Yeah, it's just my connection on the phone. So it didn't receive the yes, please. So I sent the yes, please. And then I received this follow-up, which is this one, which, again, it didn't trigger the yes, please, because my phone is connected to the directly through the cell network. So and it's pretty bad here. Okay. So we should be waiting for the reply here. Okay. Waiting. It was generated already. Should get a reply. Yeah. So this is the book. Is there a specific lyric of the day that's best for you? So it's actually like you need to prompt it to not ask this, because if you're not having the actual agent that is connected through the APIs. That's it, guys. What? 1 hour to edit up for a new client and probably me talking 40 minutes. Now, more things regarding the call transfer, call processing, inbound call. Very similar to the sales system, literally identical, just the retail. Inside the retail, we're triggering the webhook. So we're triggering this webhook. Everything is the same, updating call history and book appointment billing information. So it's the same, nothing changed here. And in terms of the outbound here, this is the engagement agent that you're having, okay? But the difference here is that you are actually not, so you're like creating the message here, and then you're like generating it, like you're putting it in the SMS. So it's like, it's identical, right? So it's just the difference on making it shorter. So we just making it shorter to help you guys to understand how everything works, but the engagement is the same. Now you can technically, when someone fills out the form, do as we're doing here, the personalized like engagement message, or what we, for example, do for most of our clients and for ourselves if we're working with a client who has the B2C, like because here it's researching the website of the company. And again, so if you go to our main engine here, so the text engine, you'll see that this is how, engagement agent works. It's just scraping the website. But if you're working with a B2C company, right, so people don't have the websites, and you can really just send an SMS trying to engage, like saving instead of this, you'll say, hey, hey, John, just saw your form submit on our site. Have a few questions. Can we chat here? Okay, just the engagement, and then once John replies, it's going to be handled by the AI sales rep that we just built, okay, from scratch. Pretty much it. Let us know, as always, if you have questions, and you have a good one.